What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy Ace Metaphor, and whether you're listening to me on a audio podcast stations or you watching me live on YouTube or audio, not audio, YouTube. Let me quit fumbling over our words. YouTube or Instagram Live. I want to welcome you guys. We got to talk about something rather important. I keep getting DMs about women saying that this man isn't changing. Okay. He is the person that is causing me a lot of pain, discomfort, and Ace, I'm getting sick of his ish. I'm leaving. And every time somebody says that, it makes me think of, are you really leaving or just saying you leaving? Because there's a difference. There's a difference between leaving and saying you leaving. And a lot of times, ladies, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times you guys are giving these ultimatums, but you're giving these ultimatums with hopes that somebody stop you and talk you out of it. You be like, all right, I'm leaving. All right, you gonna come get me? You gonna make me stay? Or you just gonna let me leave? All right, I'm leaving, but if you change, I'm gonna come back. I'm leaving, but if you... And this is why, ladies, it's hard to believe when you say you are leaving, because 9 times out of 10 you never do. 9 times out of 10 that man knows when you say I'm leaving, that's a cue to him to try to act like he's going to change. Maybe modify his behaviors for a month or two until the threat of you leaving dissipates, but then he goes back to his normal self. This is the classic cycle of abuse. And I tell ladies all the time, please stop saying you are leaving unless you actually plan and you are. Because every time you tell somebody you leaving, you insinuate you're going to be gone, and you make these empty threats, you lose your power. You become the girl that cries wolf. You are crying wolf every single time and wondering why people are not taking you seriously. Now, let me tell you this. Should he take you serious because he loves you? Absolutely. He loves you, so he should take you serious. But the love ain't influenced him to take you seriously. So the kind of love he got for you is not the kind of love that influenced him to respect you, to have integrity, to be faithful. And I say this all the time. Sometimes people love you with their feelings, but not with their actions. They love you with their emotions, but those emotions don't put their actions in motion. And so here you are begging somebody to treat you fairly, treat you like you feel like you need to be treated. And most often, it's the bare minimum things you want from a person, but you're not getting. So let's put it this way. Here's some things that I feel like if you're in this situation, you should do. All right. The first thing is this. And if you are on YouTube, anybody want to join me live on this show, just hit the link in my bio. If you are on Instagram, go to the link in my bio on Instagram. All right. To come on camera and ask me a question. If you are on YouTube and you want to ask me a question, all you have to do is go to the link. You got to go to the link in the bio or the link in the description of this video. So you click out of the live feed, not the live feed, but the live chat. And you go to just play around with the buttons, okay? And you'll find the link, okay? I don't know how to explain it. Okay? Just you'll find it somewhere. But look, this is what I'm saying to you. And I want you guys to not take offense to what I'm about to say, but I think it's rather important we talk about it. First of all, making ultimatums to me inside of a relationship can be manipulative. You're not getting what you want out of that person. So in order to influence them to act the way you want them to act, you make threats you have no true intentions of carrying through, or it is contingent on their changed behavior. I do think it's manipulative. Now, I'm not saying you are a bad person for it, but leaving should not be because you want to influence someone to change. Leaving should be because you are at the end of your stick. You have realized your worth and you moving toward happiness. The reason why a lot of you guys are unable to leave is because you are leaving for the wrong reasons. If it's not from a genuine place of, I know my worth, I'm no longer going to accept this, I am done. I am finding closure. You will always be convinced out of your decision. And this is why it takes people 3, 4 times to leave toxic relationships or tries to leave, because they're not leaving for them. They're leaving in order to manipulate someone into changing. Listen, that guy is probably trash. All right. I know you don't want to hear that, but he's probably trash. Okay. He just probably is. All right. Yeah, he got to do better with his life. All right. It just is what it is. However, what you don't want to do is keep leaving that door open. You're leaving this door open for someone to keep reinserting themselves in your life because you are only leaving to hope they change. So whenever that person shows a glimpse of change behavior, there your ass go right back where you came from. Yeah, right back there, right. Soon as he called, he's talking about, I've been, in therapy and shit. You've been in therapy? And then there you go, right back with his ass. So I'm just saying, just be careful, okay? Be careful. And here's the thing, ladies. You be thinking these men stupid. They ain't stupid. He know you ain't going nowhere. He know you ain't going nowhere. He know you bluffing. You think you got a good poker face. He like, all right. All right. When you start packing your bags and shit, he's still on the fence about it. You leave a couple days, maybe he start getting worried. You feel me? But then he still know all he gotta do for real is call a couple times, cry a little bit on the phone and shit, hear you come back. That's why I said the power of the words I'm leaving should not be wielded weakly, like in a weak manner. It should be wielded from a position of strength and unnegotiability. But when you say I'm leaving and you leave room for negotiating, you're going to get negotiated out of your damn decision. And that's why y'all stay. And that's what turns these 5 months horrible relationships into 5-year horrible relationships, because you let people talk you out of your decision because you actually didn't make a decision. You made a proclamation or something. You proclaimed you're going to do something, but it wasn't a decision. I would always say inform people of your decisions. Inform them. I'm going to inform you of my decision. And now that you're informed, I'm about to do what I'm about to do. All right, so let's get to these questions. I think I got somebody on here. I got to learn how to pronounce your name. I would say, if I had to guess, I would say Janika. Is that how you pronounce your name? Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Right, cool. What's up? How are you?
I am okay. How are you doing?
I'm making it out here. It's a glorious Friday. So,
Okay.
so what's up? What's on your mind?
Dang. You got to excuse how I look. I never thought you was going to even pick me. I've been on here like 100 times and you never pick me. So I'm so like, I'm not even ready. Okay. Um, so you are talking about my situation right now.
Uh-huh.
Um, I've been with this person for 5 years,
Yeah.
and I'll say 4 years he's cheated, he's lied, he's manipulated. I left, he comes running back to my house, and like I can't get away from him, and I'm gonna change, and let's do counseling, and let's do this, like everything to bring me back in. I go back, and of course behavior is still the same. Behavior
Right.
is still the same. Um, and now I've gotten to the point where I am just angry with him. Like, I mean, just last week, literally yesterday, Thursday of last week, someone that we know mutual, well, he knows her. I don't really know her. I just know her from passing or whatever. Told me she slept with him.
Mm.
And not too long before that or after that, I didn't know at the time. After that, I found another woman's panties in his house. Well, she told me where to find the panties at. Um, Before that, it was I seen a conversation on his phone with a man, and it's just been like so much, so much, so much.
A
And
conversation with a man. What you mean?
a sexual, like he wanted to have sex with this man.
Hmm.
Like
That's
some random,
interesting.
like some random guy, I guess, text him out of the blue. I don't know. This he said it wasn't even him on the phone. It was it,
Oh, it was somebody else had his phone. Somebody else borrowed his phone for that time. Oh,
that
okay.
yeah, that yeah. And even with the panties, his friend brought his girlfriend panties over there to get washed.
Oh, that. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So so that's how that rose, right? And so kept so it was to the point where he was denying it so much to where I started questioning myself, like, like, well, maybe not, maybe, he told me his phone was hacked. That was the third lie he told me about the whole phone thing.
mhm.
um so so anyway, what I'm trying to figure out is, how do I leave and stay gone? Like, I don't know why I still have feelings for this man. I mean, it's just been hell on the roller coaster.
Do
And
do you like that?
it's like I've gotten used to it.
Do you like relationships like that?
No. I've never really had
But if
a
you didn't, if you didn't like them, if you didn't like the excitement of trying to catch somebody cheat and watching somebody talk themselves out of it, if you didn't like the excitement of back and forth, here's the thing about excitement. Excitement necessarily doesn't mean it's a good thing, but it does something to you. It gives you some shit to do. So and this is a very real question. This is not even me being sarcastic. Do you enjoy toxic relationships? But why I want you to think about that, because a lot of people do. They'll get on this phone chat with me and tell me until they blue in the face that they don't like it. But then when they get into healthier relationships where nothing is going on, there's no cheating, there's no suspicion, there's no lies, it's just a good man, they feel weird because there's no arguing, there's no spice. So my very real question to you before I move forward is, do you prefer your relationships like this? Yes or no?
no, I don't.
Okay, so if the answer is no, then what part of you, what void in you, what unhealthy part of you, what sick part of you is keeping you attached to this person? Because if it's not coming from a place of desire and our want or functionality, then it's something inside of you that's allowing yourself to be attached to this. Are you afraid of being alone? Yes or no? You are? And maybe that's the reason you tolerate, because you don't enjoy this, but you tolerate it because you have the company of a man. Yeah, he might be a cheater, he might be a liar, but you like, at least I ain't gotta sleep at home by myself. At least I got somebody that a call and think about me. I ain't got nowhere else to go, and at least he halfway accepts me. And that's a place of void filling, not loving. That's not loving. And when you void fill with people, sometimes you do that at the expense of what you truly deserve. Don't you deserve somebody that's going to be at least honest with you? Don't you think that?
Yeah, I do. I'm starting to think that. I'm starting to believe, you know, like I said, I've never dealt with a narcissist or a manipulator or anything. So all of this is like new to me. If I break up with someone or we break up, we just broke up. Is no, let's work it out. Or if we try to work it out, if it and it didn't, we just separate. But for some reason, this person has like kind of put me on a string and
Yeah.
just
And
started just doing, making me do whatever but it was a gradual thing that I
yeah,
didn't even realize. Like I would like, move on, like, you know what, no, I cannot deal with this. And then maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I don't know if he'll do this on purpose, but like just recently, he got into this really bad car accident drunk, and then I had him blocked and everything. He had his people calling me. And when they show me the picture of this man, I'm thinking he is like dead almost, you know? And so he knows I'm gonna come running because I'm a caring person. I'm not gonna, you
Yeah.
know, do any, like, oh well, his fault. No, I even let him come to my house, and because nobody would get him out of the hospital, like his family and stuff. I had to do it. Well, I didn't have to do it, but I did it. I let him come to my house. I took care of him. And when he left my house, he had the nerve to tell me that I didn't show him no affection while he was there. And it was like, I didn't even have to have you at my house. We wasn't even
Yeah.
talking. It had been like 3 weeks or so. You know, I said, and then he makes me feel guilty. So I felt guilty about that. And it was like just on Mother's Day, I took my children to Six Flags. He made me feel guilty because I didn't ask him if he wanted to go. And it's like, this is Mother's Day. I want to spend with my children. These are not your children,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, I can't do nothing right. Nothing in his eyes is right. And now, after 3 years of me begging for counseling, now he wants to do counseling. Like recently, like yesterday. And it's like, I'm beyond counseling now. I don't think that's gonna work for me. And it's
It,
not gonna work for him because he never really he's still talking about it right now. Yeah, these so-called professional people, yeah, you can call them. And it's like,
but here's the thing. It's not love that he's displaying. I mean, it's rather obvious to everybody listening that is manipulation. And here's the thing. When you get with someone that's been this way all their life, they've perfected how to get what they want out of people. They've perfected the cat and mouse game. They perfected the string pulling. They've even perfected using other people to help them manipulate you. Just like you said, he would use his friends to tell you that something is wrong with him. They've manipulated. It's a gaslighting thing. And sometimes people get so good at this that even if you know they lying, it's like, damn, are they really? Like, he's so confidently telling me that somebody else had their phone that, like, maybe I'm tripping. It has you questioning your own reality. Here's the thing. That person doesn't want you healed and healthy. So they're going to continue to play with your mind. If you are healed and healthy, you have the strength to walk away. Well, why would somebody want you to do that? This person doesn't even know what they're doing. They've been narcissistic. They've been gaslighting all their life that they don't even realize what they're doing. That person will break you down, even on Mother's Day. There's nothing to be upset about on Mother's Day. But no, I can't have you having too much of a good time. If you have good times without me, now that gives you confidence that you can leave and continue to have good times without me. I can't have you doing that. I can't have you enjoying life too much. I want you to smile a little bit. And here's the thing about this type of guy. They do all this messed up stuff, but every now and again, he will be the sweetest guy on the earth. Every now and again, he be that person that you have begged him to be. Because guess what? He can't treat you horribly all the time. So what he's going to do is lower the bar of your expectations so low that all he has to do is give you a bone every now and again to get you to stay. Those things that convinces you to stay every blue moon is things men should do for you on an everyday basis. You should have somebody that gives you compliments. You should have somebody that's considerate. You should have somebody that pours into you the same way you are pouring into him. But instead, what do you have? A person that drains you because you want to fill his cup up. And let me tell you something. This counseling thing he's bringing up, this is another form of manipulation. He probably realizes you're at your wit's end, so he's going to use this to get you to believe he's actually invested. You said you've been dealing with this for 3 years. And I want you to really hear this. I want
5 years.
five. I want you to hear this part. I believe that person cares for you, but I don't believe he cares for you in a way in which is healthy for you. I do believe he doesn't want to lose you, but I don't feel like it's because of your positive qualities. I feel it's because of your over empathic qualities. He doesn't want to lose somebody that's going to look after him. He doesn't want to lose somebody that's going to show this unconditional ride or die love, even though they're riding to die. Obviously, you done caught this man with panties over his house. Why would he want to lose a girl that would stay after finding panties in his house? He don't want to lose you. He's not fighting for this relationship because he loves you in a healthy way. He is fighting for this relationship because you love him back despite how he is, despite the lying, despite the cheating, despite the evidence that tells you you should move forward. So here you are hanging on to the fact that this man wants you. He doesn't want you for a positive reason. He wants you because you benefit him, and he doesn't have to do much to keep you there. So here's the hurtful part about this, and I want to leave you with this thought. It will always be difficult to leave somebody you care about, whether they treat you well or not. And I want you to hear that part. So if you think just because he's not treating you well, it's going to be easier, no. Because it's a reflection of how we are on the inside. When we are good people, when we are caring people, we don't want to feel like we're giving up on somebody. Probably the reasons you stayed a lot of the times is because you wanted to believe and see the best in him. You don't want to inherently feel like people are going to lie straight to your face. When he was in the hospital, you would have felt bad if you just didn't do anything and didn't help him. That's why you did. But I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be difficult. But you have to make the decision for you. Because in this relationship, it is unhealthy and it is draining you. It is taxing you. So when you make the decision for you, and I think the question you asked me is, how do I leave and stay gone? It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever dealt with. You know why? Because toxic love is as addictive as a drug. It is as addictive as a drug. That toxic love, that toxicity, we become addicted to it. Just like nobody want to be addicted to drugs. Nobody do. They see what drugs do to their life. They see it messes up their family relationships and costs them their job. If people was thinking with their mind, they'd be like, of course I don't want to do these drugs. But your body needs it, and it relies on that toxicity. And the same is true with toxic love. You know in your head that this is not good for you. But you can't leave because there's some addiction. There's some addiction to him and the way he treats you. So what I want you to do is you got to detox. And detox, if you've ever seen somebody detox from a drug or alcohol, it is not pleasant. It sweats, it's shaking. It's the same is true when you are detoxing from a toxic love. It's going to be 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months of crying sometimes and thinking about calling him sometimes and thinking about letting him come over. But you got to resist doing that. And you got to put people around you that's going to help you and protect you from going back to this person. Whenever you think about texting that toxic person or responding back, you got to call your girl instead. You got to hit the gym instead. You got to do something productive to get your mind off of it. Also, if that person tries to come to your house, I know you don't want to call the cops on him, but he can't just come over willy-nilly and force you to talk to him. Right? You got to put in ways to where he feels like he can't have the freedom to force himself back into your life. All right. And lastly, you said something about counseling and therapy. I think you should do it, but not with him, just for you. Do that for you. You
I'm
go and you talk to, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have a therapist and a life
Mhm.
coach. Like, and I'm paying a lot of money, and I'm still like dealing with that. This is supposed to help me move on, but I keep going back, and it's like, why am I spending this money to help me when I'm not even, you know, because like I said, I'll leave and then he'll do something to manipulate me to come back. And
And that's why I'm saying you have, again, you have to surround yourself with people who are willing to help you protect yourself. You're not in this fight by yourself. And although you may not feel like progress is being made, it is. Those sessions are making progress. You talking to me is making progress. And you just got to quit giving up on yourself. Because here's the thing, it is hard to leave a toxic relationship. If it was easy, none of us would be in them. None of us would be in them. Okay. It's hard to leave them. So don't beat yourself up. But baby girl, we gotta do something about it. I mean, we can cry on the road to recovery, but what I don't want you crying still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're gonna cry, let it be because you're crying that you miss him and you ain't talked to him in 3 months, rather than crying from him doing some more bullshit towards you. All right. You got to figure out where you want to have those tears at. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you have those tears in the peace of a functional, healthy relationship with yourself than the uncomfortableness and the toxicity of what you're going through right now. So I want to leave you with this. My tangible suggestion for you is you gotta see this initial breaking as a detox session and understand it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever went through. Surround yourself with professionals, surround yourself with people that love you and friends, and you have to give them inside information. You have to be willing whenever you have those urges. Get their permission first. Be like, hey, if I think about texting him, can I text you instead? You got to have you a sponsor. And then you have to have law enforcement. If you have to enforce him not harassing you or not trespassing, you got to do what you got to do to get past this. Because I believe you go 2, 3, 4 months without talking to him, without responding, it will get easier. But it's going to be harder before it gets easier. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you the realness about it. I mean, somebody would be lying to you if they told you walking away was going to make it immediately easier. But you're doing this for your future. You're doing this for your future and your future happiness. 5 years is a long time to allow somebody to infect you with their toxicity. So it's going to take some time to detox from that. All right. But keep your head up. I believe you can do this. All right. But you got to start with that step of leaving. And then have people around you that can help you stay gone. Cool?
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. I appreciate you, lady.
Okay. Take care.
You too. Peace. You all, I know it's difficult. It's a difficult situation to be in, and I want everybody to understand this. When we go through things, there is growth happening. We don't realize it, and sometimes it's because we don't immediately see it. We think we're not making progress. But every day, if you're in that toxic relationship, just because you don't leave on Tuesday don't mean you can't get a step closer to it. So if you're in those toxic relationships, the reason it's hard for you to leave is because that self-love muscle hasn't been used in a minute. So what I would encourage you to do is, even if you're still with him, figure out how you can start building yourself up again. You can start loving yourself deeper. You can start getting a little alone time so you can start meditating again. You can find your reconnect with a spiritual relationship that you have with God. And you do that little by little. And it may take you 3 months to get the strength to leave. You may need an escape plan. Some of you guys live with the people you are in relationships with. And some of the reasons you were there is because you ain't got nowhere else to go. So what I want you guys to do is to understand leaving doesn't just start when you walk out the door. It starts months prior when you are preparing yourself and you're getting the strength to do so. Just like if you're in a competition or the test comes. The test, is when you get the paper in front of you, but how you succeed is the weeks you spent studying for the test. And so right now, if you feel unconfident about leaving and you don't feel like you can, don't beat yourself up about it. But don't allow that to stop you from making those incremental progress marker, hitting those goals every day to grow your self-love a little bit more, your self-confidence a little bit more. Surround yourself with a support system. He may not see it, but make sure you reconnect with your parents, reconnect with your friends, let them know what's going on and help them help you. So by the time you leave, you got that escape plan together. You got that support system. You got enough self-love and a reserve to get you through 2 months or 3 months of being alone. Because, and I want to say this to you, ladies. And it's the truth about it. I can't guarantee that you'll find a high caliber, quality, 1%, 10%, top 10% man. But I can guarantee that you can find a man that's not toxic. I can guarantee that. Now, I ain't saying he's going to have the best job and live in the best house, but I can guarantee you can find a man that's not toxic. All right? I can guarantee that. I will put my stamp on that. Okay? Finding a man that's not toxic is not even a high bar. That's a bare minimum standard. But you won't get there if you're spending 2, 3, or 4 or 5 years with a man you already know is. And I get it. They don't get you that way in the beginning. You know, in the beginning, they're the sweetest men in the world. The Jekyll and Hyde, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, or whatever it's called. Once you start falling in love with them, that sheep's clothes come off. But this is why you guys are here, man. Is we're gonna like be looking and fine tuning our discernment, our gut feelings, and our intuition, so that we can spot these men early, women and men, and we can avoid them. And then if we happen to not, we have to learn how to leave them. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that information. I love you guys, and I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. If anybody sit up here and tell you it's gonna be easy to leave that type of person, they lying. Because if it was as easy as people be trying to make it seem, you wouldn't have been there. And look, here's the thing about it, and I want to make this painfully obvious. Those type of people affect all types of people. I know you're gonna be like, well, what's wrong with me? Why was I the one to fall for that? There's something wrong with me. You can be the strongest woman in the world. Fuck around with that skillful ass narcissistic guy. You'll find pretty soon that it doesn't matter how confident you think you was. Because here's the thing that I think those people prey on. They prey on our innate instinct to trust. Human beings have an innate sense of trust of other people. You just don't think people would do certain things. And so even if you are an accomplished woman, a self-confident woman, a woman that loves themselves in the beginning, right? Don't think that makes you above falling for somebody like this. Because trust me, I done coached, hundreds of women. Doctors be falling for them. Therapists are fall for them. I've coached therapists before that's in those toxic relationships. They know the signs, they know some, but it's something about our willingness to see the best in people. The things that make us good humans are the things bad humans use against us. So don't feel bad if you fell for that person, because shit, we done all fell for people that we shouldn't have gave energy and time to. All right. I love you guys. YouTube, thank you so much for listening. And I appreciate our guest. And make sure you inbox me on Instagram. Let me know about your progress. Okay. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Instagram, y'all can stay right there.